So I was reading an article that was talking about different relationship problems that come up. And one of the most common problems that comes up is around conflict in relationship related to household chores.
That's a good one for us.
Yeah, I thought it would be good for us to talk about because that has definitely come up in our relationship.
More than once or twice, I hasten to add.
And it's definitely an area where our separate realities tend to show up. Where you
very separate realities.
You see things differently than I do. You're much more visually sensitive to your environment than I am.
Visually sensitive. That's a good way of describing it. I am not pleased with the general aesthetic of the kitchen when I walk into it. Quite often, I find.
You would be happy in a white room with nothing out.
I want the fruit bowl centerpiece to look something out of a Renoir painting. Not something out of a Salvador Dali nightmare, which is often the case when
the fruit bowl.
Not the fruit bowl, the kitchen in general. I like the composition to be aesthetically pleasing, and it is often not the case.
Right, and one of the other things, because of your desire for aesthetics, is I have a tendency, if I want to do something, I leave the thing out that I want to do because it helps me to remember to do it. And you like to tidy all of that up and put it in a pile and put it in a cupboard, and then I forget about it.
Well, no, I wouldn't put something in the cupboard that was dirty per se.
No, I'm not talking about dishes, I'm talking about paperwork. Like there might be a bill that I want to remember
yes.
or
we've
something.
moved out of the kitchen now.
Well,
it could be in the kitchen, the paperwork, yeah. You have a tendency, that's what you will do. That's one of my pet hates, and now you've kind of trained the children to do the same thing, is that people come in and just put everything on the dining room table. The dining room table is some sort of weird zone where everything, it's a sort of halfway house for where everything should end up. It sort of starts off on the dining room table and can remain there for days on end. You'll do that with paperwork. The kids will do it with, various other things.
Well, I think because we eat off the table, it doesn't really remain there for days on end. Because you put it away in a cupboard.
Yes, and guess who generally, because I have been doing a lot of cooking over I don't know, I feel like I've been doing generally a lot of cooking in general. Although that has changed somewhat recently. Guess who has to clean all that mess off the table so that dinner can be delivered in an aesthetically pleasing way? It's me. So I can on occasion get somewhat disturbed by that, and disturbed by things being left out in general.
Or should we be listening to video, or should we be doing the video to help people? I'm not sure right now.
Should we be listening to the video?
Yes.
What do you mean listening to the video?
Like listening to someone else help us navigate this in our relationship.
Oh, no, I feel like I still know what's up.
Okay.
I still know that when I get caught up and get upset, why am I sounding like I'm caught up and upset now?
Yes, you are.
I was just trying to do that for dramatic effect.
You're painting a picture.
I'm painting a picture. But I still absolutely know that it's my state of mind. Because in a settled state of mind, I come in and see all that material on the dining room table, or various other offences that in a worse state of mind would look like offences, and I would take really personally. When I'm in a good state of mind, it's like none of that really affects me, and I now have enough reference points to realise that when it does affect me, is generally more the case that I see, my state of mind has gone south. I don't really need to take this seriously. Why create a song and dance when this is just a state of mind thing? Why create upheaval and upset and dismay based on the fact that I'm just in a low mood? I mean, sometimes I do. But I think that those moments are now very far and few between, because I feel like I have had that jump. I do now see it. I see it's all a state of mind thing. Okay,
so what you're saying is that when you're in a low mood, those things bother you more than when you're not in a low mood. And so when you're in a low mood and it's bothering you, you're getting better at not trusting your thinking, not acting on your thinking, and kind of waiting for yourself to settle.
Yes, wow, you put that much more succinctly than I did.
But I think there's another point that I want to make, which is, like, sometimes you don't want to just let it be as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's sort of part one.
Mm-hmm.
And then part two is from a good place, from a good feeling, to have the conversation about what it is that you would like to be different and to find the win-win solution.
Yes. No, absolutely. I was just thinking I have had those conversations.
With me?
And then when I'm in a low mood, I think to myself, oh my God, we've had that conversation and still nothing's changed.
Oh, so it hasn't worked then?
No, it has worked. In general, it has worked. It has actually worked with you. I'm thinking of other members of the household where that hasn't worked till I feel like I've had that conversation till I'm blue in the face. And that would be another example where my state of mind can go south. Or my state of mind, I'm noticing my state of mind has gone south.
Right, so it might require more than one conversation.
It can, yes. In practice, in what I've learned, it has required more than one conversation.
And maybe the number of conversations is related to the age of the person you're speaking with.
It is related to the age of the person. That is a whole other factor where I can get to a place of compassion that much quicker.
As age goes down, conversation numbers go up. Is that how it works?
Exactly how it works. Yeah, no, it's funny. Yeah, absolutely. I have been looking for, with this other party, looking for a time where I can have that conversation from a more compassionate place, because I will anticipate, I'm expecting that they're going to react, even if I am ultra compassionate. So I really have to pick my moment in that respect. But yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. It is an opportunity for me to have the courage to have that conversation, and still anchor myself in a place of compassion and understanding.
Yeah.
Because if I don't come from that space, it's going to all go horribly wrong.
So if you're having challenges in your relationship related to household chores, although what we're talking about really applies to anything, what we're saying is that first to recognize your own state of mind, and if you're in a low mood, it's very likely that your level of reactivity is disproportionate perhaps to what the situation is. And so the first step is to take care of yourself, put the oxygen mask on yourself, and let yourself come back down to earth, back home inside of yourself. And then from that place, if there's something that needs to be done, something that needs to be worked out, then we encourage you to have an open-minded, curious conversation about what the win-win solution can be, and not to settle for win-lose, because that's where resentment gets built up. So to really be willing to have that conversation as many times, it sounds like, as needed, to figure out what's the win-win solution that takes into account separate realities, that takes into account separate needs. And I think for you and I, in terms of your visual sensitivity, I see it, like I have done my best, or am working on doing my best, to sort of keep my things that I need to do not out where it's going to bother you, but find a better way to keep them. And we've figured out various strategies to do that, but they feel good to both of us, and I think that's what's important. Neither one of us feels like, oh, he's getting his way and I'm not getting my way. Like we've got to figure it out so that it's win-win for both of us.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, and I think that at the end of the day, have that conversation, but don't have that conversation if you have any kind of charge on it.
Yeah.
Because that would be a bad idea.
It probably won't go well, as we know firsthand.
But I think it is crucial that you get to a place where you feel like, yeah, I can have this conversation in a very settled fashion, and I do feel neutral about it, and that is always the best place to start.
Yeah. All right, well, let us know what you're seeing and what's coming up for you, and we'd be happy to answer any questions if they come up. Take care.
Take care.